said it to me, and I didn't.
Salmon. Is that right? Okay.
Good morning and welcome. It's 9 a.m. time to call to order the March 23rd, 2023 Airport Trust meeting. Our first item is to approve the minutes for the February 23rd, 2023 Trust meeting. Is there a motion and a second?
That's right.
And the item passes. Next up, we have the director's report.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Board. A couple things to highlight. So February was another good month for us at the airport. We're up over 20%. Passenger-wise, just a reminder though, last February we still were dealing with Omicron, so that I think was a factor. But actually the passenger numbers for February exceeded what we had in February of 2019. So that's pretty significant.
That's the first time that we've done that.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's positive. Spent the last couple of days in Washington, D.C. on legislative issues. We had a legislative conference there, and we talked about the FAA reauthorization, which happens this year. So talking about funding there, and also about workforce issues that the industry is facing. So had some good conversations, and there's a lot of interest in Washington, D.C. about aviation and what's happened the last 6 months in the industry. So, but had some good conversations with our delegation there. So, before I jump into the report, I did want to acknowledge Scott Keith for an item here, item M. He was very helpful in putting together a lease for the warehouse that we have at the airport. We lost our tenant, and it's a challenge right now for industrial leasing, and he was able to find a new tenant and bring them in. So, I acknowledge Scott for that. So, good job, Scott. That concludes my report.
All right.
How is the parking coming, the new structure?
We've been working on our surface lot, the area north of the parking garages, and I would say from what I could see when I flew in last night, we're probably about 80% done. We've got about 2/3 of it done and open, and a third to complete has been paved. It looks like we still need to do the striping, but I think we're almost there. We did end up using some overflow lots during spring break just because of capacity issues and having some of our parking closed. We ended up using what we call the Hertz lot, which is where the rental cars used to have parking there, west of the parking garages. We used that for an overflow and ended up having to put some cars there. But I think overall, we got through that okay, and we're almost done with that project, so we'll be in good shape for this summer on parking.
Outstanding. Okay. Next up, we have Will Rogers World Airport.
Item A is final acceptance of the registry building at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. Item B is an amendment to a Do-It construction for rehab runway 1331, increase of $400,409.80 in 28 calendar days. Amendment C, or item C, is Amendment 2 with First Water contracting parking lot pavement rehab, increase of $4,851.20, and change order 2, an increase of $20,380.93. Item D is Amendment 3 with LWPB for project for the multi-bay maintenance facility addition, an increase of $218,714. E is change order 7 with wind construction, terminal building roof repairs, an increase of 92 calendar days. And item F is a resolution for professional services with Frankfurt Short Bruza Design Terminal Restroom renovations, an amount of $620,844.40. Item G is a wastewater easement to the City of Oklahoma City for wastewater line connected at FA CAMI Y-Waves building on Mike Maroney Aeronautical Center. Item H is plans and project manual for the AAR hangar 3B roof replacement. I is easement with Oklahoma Gas and Electric for the Oklahoma Breast Center Estate Holdings. Item J is easement with Oklahoma Gas and Electric for Oklahoma Air National Guard. K is easement with Oklahoma Gas and Electric provide services for on-cue marketing. Item L is Amendment 68 to lease agreement with the U.S. Marshals Services. And item M is lease agreement with 5300 South Portland Ave to renovate and lease office and warehouse space.
Okay, you've heard the request for approval. Is there a motion and a second?
I'm not in there. I'm not in. Okay. A vote? Okay.
Resolved.
Oh, yay.
You got it.
Yay.
And the item passes. Next up, we have item 5, Wiley Post Airport.
Mr. Chairman, item A is plans and projects submitted for advertising for bids to widen runway 1735 left to 100 feet. Item B is an assignment and assumption agreement for PWA hangar 1304 and 1305E.
Okay. Heard the request for approval. Any questions? Is there a motion and a second? And the item passes. Next up, we have general.
Item A, we have item 6.
I'm sorry.
Clarence page.
Clancy page.
Yep. Item A is authorization for advertisement of bids to install 12,000-gallon self-serve gas system.
We heard the request. Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. Next up, we have general.
Item A is amendment number 1 with diversified construction for miscellaneous service repairs and maintenance. Item B is amendment 2 for professional real estate broker services with CBRE. And item C is amendment 3 for real estate broker services with Price Edwards and Company. And item D is amendment 3 to the facilities maintenance engineering service agreement with Frankfurt Short Bruza.
Heard the request for approval. Any questions? Is there a motion second? And the item passes. Next up, we have item 8, which is aviation easements.
Item A is an easement with Lakeside Business Park, Section 2, Block 3. Item B is an easement with A-Team Investments at 2839 South Portland Avenue. Item C is an easement with Industrial Rubber, Inc. at 11,801 South Meridian Avenue. Item D is an easement with 525 TX Ref 89th, Southwest 89th Street. Item E is with South Meridian Land LLC for land located at 25th and Meridian Business Parks. Item F is an easement with BREV Oklahoma LLC at 25th and Meridian Business Park. And G is an easement with Kirko LLC at 2900 South Meridian Avenue.
Okay. Heard the request for approval on easements. Is there any questions? Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. Next up, we have item 9, which is requisitions, a resolution rectifying the actions of the Director of Airports and approving requisitions previously paid, and a resolution approving requisitions dated March 2023. Any questions? Is there a motion and second? And the item passes. Are there any comments from trustees?
Any update on an airline that wants to use our international terminal?
Well, that's you're talking about the FIS project,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
At Will Rogers, just being able to fly back into Will Rogers internationally because we now have the new gate and the
Right.
customs.
So, sure. So we're in the design phase to develop the FIS space. And that is underway, and really I think our timing on that is this year, 2023, with construction in next year, and then would hope that we'd be finished later next year and be ready for operations. In the meantime, we've continued to have conversations with airlines. In fact, Stacy from our staff this week was at an air service conference meeting along with our consultant with some airlines promoting that facility to tell them to be ready to come to Oklahoma City when it's ready. So that's kind of the status where we're at, but being proactive about making sure the airlines know when it's coming and when that'll be available. So.
Okay.
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
Is there any staff wishing to be heard?
I have a question for Director Mulder. Wayfinding signage looks really good. First comment, wayfinding signage looks really good. Thank you for those updates. It's a little bit easier to get around in and out of the airport now. Thank you to staff and to our contractors on the work done with that. Jet bridges, what's the schedule for repair, replacement on those again?
So we should be, John, going out to bid on those next month. Is that right? Okay. So, and that would be for 6 boarding bridges. The wild card, of course, is delivery
Right.
with supply chain. But
What are they telling us now from a delivery schedule standpoint? I mean, are we talking a year, 2 years?
well, I'm
6 months?
expecting it's a 2024 installation.
Installation, okay.
Easily, yeah. Yeah.
Pushing a year, okay.
In the meantime, though, we are addressing some other issues because it would be 6 of 17. We still have other ones.
Right.
And we're continuing to, we're going to be doing more carpet replacement in the boarding bridges and just cleaning up what we have because the existing ones still need some work. So we're still working on this. So.
Not our best foot forward for people coming into Oklahoma
Right.
City sometimes. So
Yep.
I know you're working on it. I appreciate it. Thanks
Sure.
for the update.
Yep.
Are there any citizens wishing to be heard? If not, meeting adjourned.